Hello friends, my train has just arrived in Tbilisi, Georgia, the capital of this country, Georgia. That's not the right place. Probably here I can get out. So, here we are. I can actually take the mask off so you can hear me better, because it looks like people on the platform don't use masks always, just some of them. Oh, it was a long journey, which I just took from Batumi to Tbilisi. My first time in Tbilisi. And you see the train. It's a nice, proper, new European train, double-decker. The sound isolation is good. It was quiet inside. The movement was very pleasant. Everything what you would expect in a good new European train. But those seats. Remember what I told you in that video about the long distance sleeper train from Kiev to Odessa, which I took. Now this was a proof. The newer the train, the worse the seats. They were hard, and the worst the geometry. The backrests were almost vertical. And this is the case with almost all new trains and buses. I don't know. Why is it so? That's the fact of life. And after almost 10 hours of sitting in that but it will be okay. I'll have a walk in this city, look around, check in my hostel, and do some work while sleeping in my bed. But yes, other than that, the journey was pleasant and uneventful, and everything was nice, and the landscapes were nice, and I managed to do a load of work while sitting there, so all that was good. Good then, let's see. I'll explore the train station to find out about my next routes, which I will be able to take from here, and then we'll go to the city and explore Tbilisi for a while. See you there. So that is the tableau of trains. I couldn't find any timetable in this station, but that tableau helped me in the way that I found that at 20:20, meaning 8:20 p.m., there's a train for Yerevan, for Armenia, and I went to the ticket office and I asked if they're every day. They said yes. So that's a confirmation. Internet says the same. Here they say the same. I could believe it. I can believe it. And I also asked how much is the ticket. 84 lari for Platskart, which is okay. Like, these tickets are never that cheap, so that's okay. It's still a lot cheaper than any other plane options. Flight options, I mean. And also I asked if it's possible that they are sold out. And she said yes, it is possible, but if I come at least a day before, and buy the ticket. In that case it should be okay. So no, and therefore I should be fine. So at least that's found out, and now it's a good time to explore a city. Well, I said that I'll meet you somewhere near the center, and here we are. We met. I'm walking towards the exact center of Tbilisi. Tbilisi rail station as well is not exactly in the center. It's not far either. It's not like in Batumi, but still a bit of a walk. Near the rail station there was market, and I found there bought a nice food. After these almost 6 hours in the train, it felt like I could eat a lot. And I bought a lot. And I ate as much as I could eat. And I paid €1.23, I think, cents. Not bad, not bad. So, and here I am about to cross the river on the bridge, and to watch a little bit how does Tbilisi look from a bridge. Not bad, what do you think? Nice. They have some skyscrapers too. Is that lion dangerous? To me it looks like he's more scared, if anything. Dear Georgians, Tbilisians, or how to call people who live in Tbilisi, why are your lions so scared? You won't scare any intruders who are about to invade this bridge with such lions. Wow, but the weather, it is so good. You see that sunshine? And it's warm and pleasant and nice. I don't know, it could be something like 23 degrees, 25 maybe, but it's nice, I can tell you. And it's mid-October. I can't stop enjoying that fact. That's quite some view. I am now in a place which my map shows to be called Rose Revolution Square. And by the way, I have learned one thing in Georgia. No square or street is complete unless you have some friends there. Rose Revolution Square. Can it be the same exact historical place where the huge historical thing happened a while ago? Remember, I was telling what I heard from the local people in Batumi video. I was telling you what I heard from local people about Saakashvili, the president who was something around 10 years president. And here, if I'm guessing correctly, because the name is seemingly too obvious for me, because the Rose Revolution was the moment, when was it, 2003? Something around that time, when at that time the president was it Shevardnadze, or was there somebody else after Shevardnadze who was president at that time? Not sure, I think it was Shevardnadze. And elections were run, everything was as it normally should be. Like with normally, what do I mean? In ex-Soviet countries, most of them, not all, but the vast majority of ex-Soviet countries, how does these things happen? Well, there are big guys and medium-sized guys and smaller guys, and when the big guys have planned and arranged everything, they have good plans for future, they have heavyweight interests, and they have arranged between all the truly influential guys how the things will be run, then things run smoothly. But then there is such a thing as elections, such a nuisance. And you know, when you have finally made all the arrangements with all the properly important people, and everything is divided and everything is arranged, you can't at that moment let some people to mess up these plans through some elections. What's that? And at that moment as well, elections were running as normal, everything was planned, everything was nice. The old president was re-elected, of course. What's the question there? But then something strange happened. People went into... was it the same square? I was kind of imagining it's bigger, but maybe, I don't know. And people went into streets, and the demonstrations got bigger and bigger and bigger and out of control. But they were peaceful, so you couldn't really shoot them all. And they were... and the old president, which was kind of re-elected, quote unquote re-elected, he said no, everything was perfectly okay and the elections were legitimate and everything was fine. You're just dreaming, people, that it should be a different result. And at the end it got bigger and bigger, until the first day when the first newly elected whatever meeting should it be, when it should happen, then people with roses in their hands just stormed the government building, or was it parliament, I'm not sure, and stormed it and ran into it, and basically the old president resigned. The newly kind of re-elected president resigned. And then Mikhail Saakashvili was the biggest leader of the opposition at that moment, and then they were making a different new elections, and these elections were really transparent, and there were a lot of also observers from Western countries and non-governmental institutions and so on. So these elections was really told to be proper elections. And then suddenly turned out that Saakashvili get, what was it, something 94 or 96% of votes. You know, these kind of figures you get only in two cases. The first is the typical one, like when you have a proper normal post-Soviet elections, I won't comment more. Or you get such numbers in honest, transparent elections, in the case when there has been a long history of serious oppression, and then the opposition candidate is the one who gets all the votes, basically. And as far as we can all know, that was the case. So Mikhail Saakashvili became a president, and all the amazing stories which I told you in Batumi video that started to take place in this country for the next 10 years. So I understand, as far as I can understand, and as far as what I hear from people here on the streets, that these things are of a huge importance in the modern history of Georgia. Interesting. It would be interesting to see more, to find out more how did it all happen and what did take place in each of these phases, and because there are not so many good examples. Like, there are a full world of examples how governments are decaying and taking more control and becoming more authoritative and more problem causing for people, but there are not so many good examples when it was overturned. Dear Georgians, if I can believe those things which I hear from you, sorry, I haven't checked many of these facts yet, and I don't know if I will have time to check them. But dear Georgians, if it is true, you have my deepest respect, seriously. You are some wonderful people. Keep going. Everybody keeps telling me that I'm a tall man, but when I look at these bicycles which ancient Georgians have used, I feel like a midget here. Seriously. My head doesn't even reach the top of the sprocket for the pedals, let alone sitting there and properly riding the bike from both ends, by the way. This seems to be Tbilisi first public school, and these two men, well, unless you know how to read in Georgian, you'll never find out who they are. Maybe the people who founded the school? The central street is quite noisy, but other than that, it's nice. I like Tbilisi this far. I quite enjoy being here. I actually just went into the office which promotes travel to Azerbaijan, and I was asking them for confirmation, is it really true that their land borders are still closed? Which means that you can get into Azerbaijan by airplane, but in no other way. Land borders are closed. And yes, he confirmed, it's 100% sure that it is closed, unfortunately. And nobody knows when it will open. Can be tomorrow, can be who knows when. So, dear friends, it looks like this Caucasus trip of mine will consist only of Georgia and Armenia, but not Azerbaijan. And because of that, I can whisper you carefully. I also had plans, if it would be possible, to get into that interesting place called Artsakh or Nagorno-Karabakh, that breakaway republic. It's possible, well, kind of possible, to get in there from Armenian side, but the problem is that if you have been there, Azerbaijanis may, how to say it politely, not like it very much, which means I could risk never being allowed into Azerbaijan anymore if they find out. So I'm thinking probably that Nagorno-Karabakh I'm leaving for a different time again, because I want to do Azerbaijan first and only then Nagorno-Karabakh or Artsakh, just to be safe. So, looks like we are going to Armenia, Yerevan, next after Tbilisi. Probably I'll buy the ticket this evening when I get to Wi-Fi in my hostel. I wonder what is this? Looks like some parliament or government or that kind of building. And you see, it's again Georgian flag and European Union flag, as if they were a member state. I guess they would like to be a member state. What do you think? Is this some kind of, how do you call it, hint? We'll see. Maybe one day we'll all be in the European Union if it still holds in one piece by that time. Why not? Why not? And this place is called Liberty Square. And could that be Statue of Liberty? Now I will be able to brag, even though I haven't been to New York yet, but I have stood on the foot, or how do you call it? Basically at Statue of Liberty. And there, well, let's try to zoom in. There is Mother of Georgia, or Mother Georgia, how is it called properly? And I have a plan to get up there tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll see. They say it is very beautiful view from there over the city, and also some waterfalls and botanical gardens and that kind of stuff. And by the way, that building over there, which I showed you before, the one with European Union flag, I found out that really was Georgian Parliament. And did you know how I found it out? I was looking on Google Maps and Google said nothing. Was silent like a partisan and didn't give this information to me. What is this building? But then I remembered when I was walking in Skaltubo, I had a man from Kazakhstan who decided to join me in that crazy adventure. And he had Yandex Maps in his phone, and it turns out that in former Soviet Union, at least as far as I have seen, Yandex Maps are a lot better than Google Maps. A lot more details, a lot more information on them. And he recommended it to me, and he said, yeah, it's easy to download the app and download the maps, offline, usable. And I did it. And now I remembered it, that I did it. So, I looked in Yandex Maps, and here it is. Parliament of Georgia. Not the one I'm showing you. The one which you saw before. I just thought maybe it's worth telling it as well. Good. I feel quite a bit tired. I think I'm go towards the direction of Hostel. That man in the blue shirt there who is selling the books, he's some funny character who saw I'm coming up from the underground pass. And he started to talk. He picked up immediately, I'm not local, I'm too white. And he said in such a speed in English where even I can't even try to tell it the same way. English books, German books, Georgian history. And I was saying, no, thank you. Oh, the books are a good thing, but I know how much time do I have to read it right now. And also, how much space do I have to carry those things? I have a good amount in my tablet, but not on the paper. And I said, no, thank you. He said, look, Georgian book, Georgian history, English books, German books. He was a nice guy. I think his sales are going well even without me. This place, my map says, is called Tbilisi Old Town Wall Ruins. Where are the old wall? Perhaps these parts? Probably. Well, if that is it, I feel a little bit underimpressed. Was it worth taking this small detour? Making my Crocs go thinner from the abrasion and my ankle more painful just to see this? Okay, I have nothing against old walls, but maybe I wouldn't take this detour next time. But the place is nice, can't complain. This place might be a bit more interesting, I hope. On my map it looked like old maze of kind of medieval looking streets, small, windy. I guess it might be an old town with some more interesting views. What do you think about such house? I wouldn't want to maintain it, but I definitely like to look on it. That one is not old, but it blends in nicely. What do you think about such balconies? Am I the only one who think it's nice? Too much sun to see anything there. Old Tbilisi. He lost something. Well, it looks like we're approaching something beautiful. What do you think, friends, about this? And about that? Rain is not a problem here, even when you do have rain. It's quite amazing space they have built. And what would be amazing space without some friends? Hi, doggy. How can you not like such a place? And this bridge, by the way, is called Bridge of Peace. Well, finally, something is called not for the glory of war. They have done quite a lot to like to the tourists and locals as well. Even my friend likes this music. He came to listen. Just try to imagine how well is his sleep in such situation. They like these weeping varieties, these pendula trees, all kinds of them, and also the narrow ones. Basically everything that's unusual, and the prostrate ones, and the water. This was again said to be dancing fountain or something of that sort in the map. Well, unlike in Batumi, this one is at least fountaining, although there are many places which does not. And no music as well. But come on, I'm becoming too picky. Wow, isn't this place nice? And by the way, if you think it must be very expensive if it's so beautiful, think again. This place, hostels are even cheaper than in Batumi. In this place, guess how much I'm paying for one night in hostel? €2.50 per night. Yes, you heard it right, €2.50 is one night for the hostel. Hot air balloon is nice. Well, it's not hot air probably, it's the helium one, I think. But you are kept in a tether worse than these dogs around here. Not much freedom there, but still nice. And now try to guess, what is this square called? I can give you a small hint. Look at the flags. Yes, Europe Square. I have seen it somewhere. It's the second place in Georgia where I see quite central place called Europe Square. And I saw it in Kiev in Ukraine as well. So would I be too wrong if I guessed that those two countries have kind of a similar aspirations? If I'm correct, this house is called Queen Darajan Palace. So that queen had a good taste, I think. And that's the Georgian police. Is it allowed to film it? I was looking in a different direction just to be safe. After Pridnestrovia, I never feel quite safe about it. Beautiful. This square is called Ketevan the Martyr Square. I wonder what could it be? Be. Ketevan sounds like an Armenian name to me. But I shouldn't be guessing too much. Was it some Armenian evangelist in some 6th century which they killed here and he became a martyr? No. Let's better not start that kind of wild guesses. I don't have internet to check here, and when I will have internet I will have no time. That's okay not to know it. That guy in the middle looks to me like Docent from the film Gentlemen Udachi. But it can't be. Can it? No, I can't believe that. Probably I'm making jokes about some famous person in Georgian history. If anybody knows, you can let me know. And please, Georgians, don't get offended. I just don't know. I noticed this bakery on my way and I bought one bread. You saw how he took it out of the big stove and it's hot. I can't hold it almost, and you see how big it is. It's huge. And do you want to guess how much did it cost? 33 cents. 1 lari 20 tetri, which is 33 euro cents. That is crazy. And I have heard these are very tasty, especially when fresh. And this is definitely fresh. It's burning my hand. I have to put it against my bag, otherwise I can't hold it. Wow. And this brings me to total of €1.50 something cents for today's eating money. But that will be it for today's eating. I can't spend my €5 here for eating. Well, I'm deadly tired, but finally I am home. Skeni Hostel, or whatever it's pronounced. I think it might be somewhere in the... Might be. Let's find out. Could it be there? Yeah, it's here. Home sweet home. Nice evening from the balcony in Tbilisi. Well, this is definitely time for my legs to rest and my brain to start work. Probably see you tomorrow, friends. You see this car? It's a proper antique car, nicely restored, but there is something special about it. I just noticed. Look here. Imagine this car, nicely restored, and you see what kind of car it is also. Like a proper sports formula or whatever, what do you call it, the ancient formula type car. And it has a place for a trailer. Only in Georgia. I love this country. Who else will ever be pulling trailers with formulas? In Ireland, people would keep such a car in garage, and when they once in a year would take such a car to a special antique car or whatever they're called, they would take this car onto a special trailer and tow it to save that poor car from its tires touching the tarmac and getting worn. Here, not only this car stays outside, it can pull trailer itself. Isn't that cute? Imagine this car pulling a proper rusty Soviet Union type trailer, car trailer, with 2 pigs in it, or a good load of bales of hay, and this guy will pull it. Imagine if you live in this kind of place, in this kind of house. Would you ever think that it would be possible to grow your own food or something in such place? Of course not. Right? Well, wait a moment. We are in Georgia. Not here. Where a Georgian lives, a wine can be made. You see how big this grape is, and it goes further away there on that side, and it goes good deal on that side, and who knows how far behind the corner, and it comes out up here. Yeah, you can barely squeeze in through here when you walk. But it's not just enough for growing the grape, and two of them. There is even extension for two more grapes, which will start to produce in a couple of years' time. I like these people. So if you think to go there, it's maybe not the best idea. Here will be a bit better. And this is something genius. What do you do when the lock is broken? Well, you replace it. Perfect. So, that was my hostel during my stay in Tbilisi. And no, if you would think that I would blame them, absolutely not. I quite like their inventiveness. That's one thing. And another thing, when I see that there are places without rails and other dangerous things, it is not only a bad message, it is also a positive message, in the sense that this country obviously is not prone to some stupid law cases which happen in Ireland and especially in America and many other countries, where people sue companies and businesses for something which is their own people's mistakes. So if they can live without rails or manholes open, in this case not, but I saw it, we saw them in Pridnestrovia, for example, that means that there is no culture of suing and making stupid false law cases in this country, which is a good sign. And if anybody of you would get offended by seeing toilet door locks like this or other stuff which you saw, well, what can I say to you? In that case, we have to squeeze. Let's go now because the car is on the sidewalk. So in that case, I can only recommend you taking more expensive hostel. What can I say to you? Don't take a hostel for €2.50 per night. take it for €3 or €3.50. You'll be better off that way. Oh, it's amazing how cheap is this country and how easily you can get by with very little money. Absolutely recommended for all the digital nomads and all other people who can work from anywhere in the world where there's a good internet connection. And internet is good here, so really nice and recommended place. I haven't even got to Armenia yet, I'm still in Georgia, but I noticed Echmiadzin Armenian church just on my way in Tbilisi. Shall we check it out? There's some wedding, so I didn't want to disturb them too much. I'm again close to Europe Square, and here I noticed some interesting thing. Up there is this palace of the Queen. I forgot what was her name, but here is something like waterfall, like small dripping waterfall. I don't know if you can see it in my camera, but all the way water is dripping. Interesting. So I looked it up, it's Queen Darejan Palace. And these are very nice stones, how they have built it. And there is something interesting there as well. I wonder what that is. Looks like it was some bell tower for this church. It is called Metekhi Saint Virgin Church. Let's go in. This looks old. This looks properly old. That's some nice view here. That man on the horse liked this view probably as well. And I can understand him. Why not? I am again at Europe Square and I noticed something interesting passing here. You see, that's the name, and this is interesting. This is probably how Georgians see Europe. Interesting, that's the Europe. And here, that is Georgia. And you see that gap between the Europe and Georgia. That's the Caucasus mountain range. And indeed, that part is Russia, part of Europe, European part of Russia. But this has always been considered Asia. But I think Georgians would better like to see this gap being done away with. And actually, I can suggest them one more trick, visual trick. They haven't shown all the Europe. You see, there's a border. I know that many Europeans would like to see that this is not part of Europe at all. So only that is Europe. But this is also Europe, this Russian part. And you know what? It goes even further there to Caspian Sea, then Ural River, then that way, and the Ural Mountains, and then the Northern Ocean. So all that part would be Europe as well. They should show that one as well. Then Georgia would almost look like to be in the middle of Europe, which is technically pretty much almost true, except of that small gap which is mountain range of Caucasus mountains. But yeah, I think they like to see themselves as part of Europe, and in a way I can understand them as well. I never knew they would ever have to make a statue for dog. They have enough live ones. What do you think, doggy? You will definitely not reply me. There is one live, and I'm sure around that corner is 17 more. There is one as well. I'm zooming too much, I can't point my finger. But let's not point fingers to our dear doggies. Hello! That man just tried to sell me something. And you see, there are two more dogs here, and one is running there, and we saw two already there, and here is another one. So I wasn't very far from my prediction. So my friends, as you know already from my Kutaisi video, Kutaisi cable car cost me 1 lari. I took it, you saw it already. Then Batumi cable car cost 30 lari. And I said thank you, but no thank you. And this one seems to be cost 2.5 lari. Let's check it out. There will be a complication of buying a special transport card which you could use for all the city transport, including this thing. But maybe it could be worth it. Let's see. The girl in the counter said that I even don't need a special card. I can just put my Visa card on to touch on this thing and it will let me through. So let's check it out. It will be very convenient. Can I just tap it on, yeah? Perfect. Madloba. thing really worked. I'm happy to say that. Amazing. That's where we came from. This is beautiful.
Вот это основатель Тбилиси, такой вахтанг Caucasus. Это вот церковь тибетская. И вот смотрите, мы сверху еще видим вот этот весь склон, он вертикальный, вот то, что говорил сейчас. Ну, можете вот так посмотреть сверху, вот эти все злачные сейчас, вот эти вот ряды, вот тут прямо террасы там тоже.
Вот эта улочка кончается, да, вот, которую мы вспоминаешь? Нет.
Да, вот эта площадь, вот эта вот площадь Мейдан, самая-самая центральная, ну Майдан, Мейдан, да. И вот смотрите, видите, вот вертикальные, да, вот скалы и вот дома.
Да, класс.
Вот видите дом это с синими балконами, где мы на такси садимся.
Да.
А, да, вот это там такси. Это там
Да.
метро?
Да.
Да, метро, да.
А так даже можно наш дом увидеть.
А вот здесь люди живут, вот в этих домах им подфартило, что все это отреставрировали, им все сделали. То есть кому-то прямо круто повезло.
Кажется, тут в жутком состоянии все. Ну, когда вот я приехала.
Все это вечером это все подсвечивается. Ну вот и так можно спуститься. Ну, собственно говоря.
Какой-то, знаешь, как город средневековья немножечко, нет? Такая Чирикская река есть, по-моему.
Слушай, какое освещение хорошее, его сейчас надо сфотаться.
Все? Выходим.
This was cool. Amazing. That's the thing which I was in just a moment ago. Yeah. How not to like it? And it's really beautiful here. Very windy. I'm trying to hide my microphone. I need to invent something against wind for my microphone. Otherwise it's a bit tricky. It's quite a good speed and then it slows down. And then you can step out. Yeah. And there is the Mother of Georgia statue. There are two reasons why I took this cable car. One reason was that the price was good enough, 70 euro cents, and the view was worth it. But another reason was that I was going to go up here anyway, and it saved me a lot of climb from down there. From there. That's that man on that horse, which one man told me is the founder of this city. And that's the church where we were in just a moment ago. So I'd be climbing up here anyway, because I wanted to visit that statue and that waterfall which is behind the statue, and look on the city from above. So I was going to climb here anyway, But now I won't have to climb up. I'll probably only just go down. And if I will be tired for whatever reason, I might even take a return drive with the cable car back down. We'll see. Perfect. Life is good. So this is the statue Mother of Georgia, and I don't know anything more about her except the name which the map said me. So I might be guessing she's maybe some impersonation of this country and its ideals and dreams and freedom and whatever. Probably. I just remembered that my hostel host, the owner of the hostel, he said, oh, it's interesting, on this side it's mountain as well. I thought here will be just going up and up, but there's another valley this side. Yeah. Nice. Didn't expect that. And somebody is using the drone there to film Mother of Georgia. So I just remembered that the host, the owner of the hostel, when I was asking which country is he from, he said his mother is Ukrainian and his father is Armenian, but he has grown up here, so he is a son of Georgia. So, if that's the mother, he's the son. I'm just guessing it might be some kind of way of expressing it. But as you know, it's just a guess. But the view is beautiful, I must tell you that. Let's enjoy it for a moment. I just noticed that this mother has a sword in her hand. Well, that's some militant mother. And let's be careful here. No need to fall down. And actually, my map says that all the area there is Tbilisi Botanical Garden. And somewhere there, let's see where, maybe where this path is going, should be the waterfall of Botanical Gardens, which was also in a map. So let's find out if it was worth coming here to see it. My map said that it should be somewhere further, not the one which I was about to take just there. Plus also it had chain across the entrance which says no entrance. That man was jumping the chain coming out of there. But why should I jump it as well if that's not even my way? So let's find out what's going on here. The direction is correct, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to access it from here. This might be the very top of it, from a place from where I won't be able to see anything. But let's go and find out. How can we know it otherwise? Well, the place is beautiful for sure, but it looks like those people down there can actually enjoy the view of the waterfall, which is here. I think I even hear it. Or could it be it's just the trees? I think I hear the water. Yeah, but probably we won't see it from here. Not the right angle. Although I have no regrets of coming up here. It's not a bad place, is it? Look at this. Probably the wind is all you hear as well. I don't know. I'm trying to hold my microphone in my palm, but I'm not sure at all if you will hear anything I'm saying now. But if you don't hear, don't worry, it wasn't anything important. Just a blah blah blah, which I usually do when I see something beautiful. Actually got one idea. You see that small platform there? I might go there and see if the waterfall is slightly visible from there as well. Not a big hope, but still a possibility. And I'm pretty sure that the botanical garden is for the paid entrance, because there was this chain which prohibited the side entrance. And it said that the entrance is through the visitor center, which probably will mean I have to buy a ticket after walking a good amount of path in a direction where I don't need. So we'll leave it out, at least for this time. So this is this place, which I just saw from above, from there. But you see, there is nothing better. I can hear and see the river down there, and that waterfall must be somewhere here as well. But we won't see anything more from here. Okay, let's leave it for a different time. And what do you think? Should we have one more look on this side? That's the center of Kutaisi. Sorry, Kutaisi, Tbilisi. I'm not in Kutaisi for a good while already. Tbilisi, dear friends, Tbilisi. That's also botanical gardens, but a little bit different area than which I showed before. So dear cable car, it was very nice that you took me up here, but I decided not to go down with you. Not because you're not good, but because I want to see some interesting places down there, and from there I will be halfway down already. It's a nice balcony here. What do you think, friends? Would you like to live in such a house? Well, in such a place. You definitely would. wouldn't let your kids walking in your backyard without the proper cover with you. You know what I just realized? It is very windy today, and even though it is not cold, but because of that wind and air being still not hot anymore, it feels quite cold. And I was walking in one t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt all the time, and then I started to feel, oh, it could be a bit warmer here. And then I noticed that everybody else is dressed like this, or even in some almost autumn or almost winter coats, some people even. So I guess it wouldn't hurt for me to get something more on as well. So I just took out my second long sleeve t-shirt, and I have 2 t-shirts on me now. So, as they say, if everybody else needs a winter coat, the second t-shirt wouldn't harm me. I think I have become almost like a proper Irishman during those 10 years which I lived in Ireland, because Irish people can wear the same t-shirt in summer and winter. Well, Irish summer and Irish winter, I should add. So this place is called Narikala Fortress, and if you think I know anything more than the name of it, you probably don't know me yet. Let's find out first if we can get in without paying anything and surviving all the rocks falling on us. And second, let's find out if there's anything interesting there. Well, it looks like it was worth going this route instead of taking the cable car back down. Nice. And there, well, I shouldn't say there before I can show it to you, probably. That's nice as well. So now I can say there is some church. Let's find out if it's anything old and beautiful or not. Orthodox Church of Saint Nicholas the Wonder Worker. Okay, that's how you translate Nikolai Чудотворец in English. Now let's look the same place, the fortress, from above. What will happen if I climb up here? Yep. That's the beautiful ladder which we saw before coming in here. There are some boats in the river as well. I see one there and 2 there. and even more boats. Nice. And believe it or not, that is the Tbilisi Central Mosque. I didn't know they have such thing as well. But yeah, except Armenians, there are no other nations or countries around Georgia which wouldn't be historically Muslim. So wouldn't be too surprising, I guess. I wonder, would I be allowed to walk into mosques the same way as I'm always walking in churches? Shall we try maybe? Гамаджоба. Можно посмотреть? Ага, хорошо. Well, they just said I need to take off my shoes and I'm allowed to come in without any issues. I don't have so much experience with walking into mosques, and I always felt that, would I be allowed to go in? What would happen because I'm not a Muslim? You just have to ask. That's all it takes, obviously.
Gelip burada diye de otur sen. Ama bizim burada oturma diye bu şartlar koydu ona olan biraz zor var. Şimdi o şartları sen kabul edeceksin. Akılda medresiyle var. Ne olacak dedik.
Madloba.
Ha daha hiç.
Well, this is what I did half of my childhood. Well, not half probably, but a good amount of it. When the wood chopper was talking with the other man, he was talking in Georgian, but he was swearing in Russian, which often happens in these places, and I always find it quite amusing because I understand those words, but I don't understand the Georgian words between those swear words. But yeah, that probably is true, that there is no other language under the sun in which you can curse in so 10,000 different nuances and depth and strength levels as in Russian. So people use that language when they want to express themselves a bit more, how do you call it, uncensored way. It's just funny when you don't understand any other words which they're saying. That's something interesting. Let's find out what it is. And I actually found out What is that building? Hi doggy. I have friends everywhere. And good friends. Oh, it's beautiful. I have found what is this place actually. On the map it says sulfur baths. That's one of those objects which I had marked on my map, which was the reason why I didn't take the cable car back down, but why I decided to walk this path. Oh, that's good. I want to drink. Excuse me for a moment. So, let's keep going. The water tastes very good in Georgia. I have yet to find a place where it wouldn't taste amazing. And actually everything tastes amazing in Georgia. That's cool. That's something really interesting about this place. But the water is remarkable. It's not like in Malta or in Canary Islands, where you drink that tap water and then you think afterwards, did I really have to drink it? Oh, this is an interesting place. Oh, there are these kind of small friends as well. They're very small. Are they just not grown up yet, or is it something different? Royal bath. Even royal, but this is beautiful. And you know what? These kind of roofs, they don't take any maintenance, and you can walk there easily as well. It's a good way how to build. What do you think, friends? And by the way, sulfur baths and sulfur springs as such, they are funny in a way that they smell. Some say that they smell like rotten eggs. Some say they smell like old socks. But I have yet to find a person who describes the smell as something pleasant. But the sulfur spring water is said to be very healthy. And this one is thermal as well. So it is very nice in that regard as well, that it's hot. I don't know how hot is it. Wow, and this is some Islamic architecture, like some madras. But I don't know, was it a madras some time ago? Or is it something else? There's only one way how to find out, I guess. And that's this way. The place I'm going to is called, I don't even know how can one pronounce it properly, Legvtakhevi Canyon. Legvtakhevi. Try to pronounce that. And that's only my guess how to pronounce it from the writing on the map. It might be completely wrong what I'm saying now. But the place is beautiful. It's really a canyon and a cannon as well. A cannon in the canyon. And this is another bridge of love. I had two bridges of love showed in my map. And I thought one of them is just a mistake. But But it turns out to be that there are two bridges actually. Not a mistake. That's an amazing house. And it looks like on that end of this canyon there's some waterfall. Not as huge as the one I didn't see, but good enough to walk to and have a look to. What do you think? What do you think about the count of bridges here? I have crossed already two. This one is the third, and there is the fourth, and then there is the fifth. And who knows if there is some more, just to get to the end of that canyon. Amazing! This is amazing, dear people. What do you say about this, friends? And this waterfall as well is called Leg Heavy Waterfall. If you're able to pronounce it, you're allowed to visit it. There is no entrance fee. You just need to be able to read it and pronounce it. That's an amazing place. There was one funny thing which just happened. You know, I can't any longer to afford this luxury of not looking at watch, because I just looked what time is it, and it turned out to be 5:30 p.m. So I don't know when I started my explorations today, but I know that I have my train at 8:20 p.m. which will take me to Yerevan in Armenia from Tbilisi Central Passenger Station, which is 5.5 kilometers walk from here. So a bit more than 1 hour. I shouldn't be taking it that easy. I don't want to miss that train. I have bought a ticket online already. So let's keep moving towards that direction where the train station is. That's the very center, and more towards that side is the train station. What do you think about this kind of cliffs and the church on the very top of the cliff, and there are houses which you probably saw when we were driving up through that cable car, with that cable car. Interesting. Oh, this is some beautiful view as well. How can you not like such places? But probably you shouldn't be standing in the middle of street enjoying it. A view is beautiful, but life is more expensive than that. Those are the houses which I was talking about. Amazing. It is called Sioni Cathedral, by the way.
Most of the tables, they say
They definitely are one happy people. This place is called Baratashvili Bridge. I'm not sure who was Baratashvili, perhaps some important man in Georgia's history. The place is quite noisy, but it's quite beautiful as well. And the sun is setting behind those mountains. Hello, friend. You know what, my dear friends? It is already getting dark, as you can see, and I have walked a lot today. Also, I have walked through the most beautiful part of the city, the oldest part, and I still have a good amount to walk through the younger part, newer part, and quite boring part of the city. And also I will need my legs for tomorrow in Yerevan. I'll have to walk there quite a bit, and I'm quite tired. And because of that I decided, I see already it while I'm talking to you. I decided to go 3 stops with metro or underground or tube, depending which kind of English do you speak. Liberty Square station. My new Yandex maps are showing these metro lines very beautifully, and I think I should have been, no, it should work here as well. And I'm pretty sure that my card should work here the same way as it worked there on that cable car. Let's try. Yes, it worked. What can be better than that? Perfect, we are in. And you know, my Yandex Maps, the new free Yandex Maps, which was recommended to me by that Kazakhstani man, it shows metro lines as well beautifully, unlike the Google. So, dear Google, you have to sweat a little bit to keep up with those guys. And yeah, while we are going down, what are your thoughts about this country and about this city? I'm thinking myself, because this is my last hours in this country, and I have spent a good amount of days here. 1 week, bit more, I don't remember even. And I have really liked this place, I can tell you. It has been very welcoming, it has been very beautiful. It has been also very civilized and easy to get around and do things. It has been extremely cheap, and therefore if you are on a tight budget you might feel really good in this country. The internet and other communications work nicely, and public transport is quite nice. Well, depending where. But like in Tbilisi, perfect. So I guess if you live like a digital nomad working online, and it doesn't matter which part of the world you are in, as long as you are connected to good speed internet, this might be a very good option. With the same kind of salary, you might feel 10 times richer here, as if you would live in some Western Europe country. So, there is definitely a lot in this place to be recommended. So let's see which one is the one. That one probably isn't. This one must be, because there are 2 lines. It's a bit strange, but I don't see. Ah, okay, that's a Liberty Square. Yes, Station Square, it's there. That's the one. And that's our metro. The same kind of paintings as in Moscow, but in different colors.
შემდეგი სადგური რუსთაველი. შემდეგი სადგური სადგურის მოედანი. Next station, Station Square. სადგურის მოედანი. გადასასვლელი საბურთალოს ხაზზე. Station Square. Transfer to საბურთალო line.
So I can take off the mask, and we are, or should be, somewhere in the vicinity of the central station of Tbilisi. Now probably the wisest thing would be to look in my GPS and find out which side is the station. So far so good. It was a quick three stop ride and I'm here. Well, I don't know where is it here. But I'll find out in a minute when I stop talking to you guys. So probably see you at the station. So friends, we are in a train station and you see the time is 6:51 p.m. and that one is Tbilisi, Yerevan. Now you can read it. It is Tbilisi, Yerevan, and it is leaving at 20:20, 8:20 p.m. Now you can see again Tbilisi, Yerevan. Platform 3 on time. Everything's perfect. And that's probably my last words from the country called Georgia, or Gruzia, or Sakartvelo, depending which language you use. This is how different they sound. The same name of Georgia. Thank you, Georgia, for this wonderful, welcoming possibility to visit you. It was nice. And I would definitely be happy to come back one day. Who knows? Someday. So friends, I'll probably make a new video about the train and Yerevan in Armenia. But now that is it for the Georgia, or Tbilisi. All the best, dear friends.